When this baby squirrel fell from a nest, she was very close not to surviving at all. Luckily, a family spotted her, took her to a veterinarian, and gave her a second shot at life. You can tell by how affectionate she is that she knows what they did for her. Swans are often known for being territorial and very aggressive. However, when Richard Wees spotted a swan stuck in a fence, he didn't hesitate to help the animal. The way she expressed her thankfulness made it that much better. When Dahlia the dog needed some help with blood work, she couldn't have been more grateful to the veterinary technician who kept her feeling safe and happy throughout her entire ordeal. Those are some super kisses from a super dog. This dog was feeling terribly sick when his owner decided to bring him into the veterinarian's office. Thankfully, with the vet's tender loving care, not to mention medical know-how, this little guy pulled through, and he couldn't be more thankful if he tried. Marvin the dog seemed destined to live out his final days in a local animal shelter, until inevitably being put to sleep. Thankfully, that never came to be, and he was adopted. This is how he shows his gratitude daily to his new owner. This buck was saved from hunters by this family years ago. Now he shows up at their windows and waits for them to wake up so that they can say hello. He's become even more devoted to them since they started feeding him entire loaves of bread. Abigail the kangaroo was rescued and transported to safety, to live at the Alice Springs Reserve when she was just 5 months old. 10 years later, she can't help herself from hugging her rescuers every single time she sees them. Look at this picture of baby Abigail and try not to tear up. This photograph was taken the day she first arrived at Alice Springs. You can tell she's already had to endure so much. Thank goodness for her human rescuers. When Nora the dog was rescued from an abusive home, she was too scared of people to let anyone touch her. That all changed when her adopters gave birth to a little boy named Archie. Now, Nora is just totally devoted to this special boy who helped give her life purpose. Brazilian soldiers found this jaguar, named Jequitia, dying in the middle of the Amazon jungle. They helped nurse her back to health, and when it became clear that she wouldn't survive in the wild, she happily became one of their own. When Radamanessa the cat was just 2 months old, she was brought to this animal clinic with a potentially fatal condition. The medical team saved her life, and now she expresses her thanks by comforting other sick cats who are brought to the shelter. Firefighter William Linder saved this puppy, Jake, from a barn fire. Over 75% of his body was burned in the blaze. He surely would have died if William had not risked his life to save the puppy, who will forever be in his debt. Although Jake pulled through just fine, his owners abandoned him at the veterinary clinic where he was being treated. William didn't think twice. He adopted Jake, and now the duo are seldom far from one another. When this moose was very young, he was saved from hunters by this wonderful human rescuer. Now he returns to visit his human friend whenever he can. Isn't it amazing what those lovely brown eyes of his can convey in just one look? Even though this little boy couldn't even afford a pair of shoes for himself, he had no problem offering up his own jacket to this dog who was freezing on the street. It's clear that as long as these two have each other, they'll be just fine. Every time this conservationist goes to feed the seals he rescued, he knows it will take a little bit more time than it should. That's because every time they see him, they bowl him over with love and gratitude for saving their lives. This forest ranger in the Congo has dedicated his life to saving and protecting the gorillas who live in the jungle. In the process of doing so, he's made some exceptional bonds that will absolutely last a lifetime. Just look at these two pals. When this woman visited a shelter to adopt a kitten, she was distracted by the loud meowing coming from this adult cat in a nearby cage. When the cat reached out her paw, the woman knew the two had to be together. Look at how grateful this kitty is. This senior cat can't quite seem to believe his luck. He lived on the street for his entire life when one man rescued him, rehabilitated him, and gave him a safe and loving home he so richly deserves to grow old in. 3 cheers. This dog was abandoned and left chained in a park for at least a week before he was rescued by one kind stranger. Just the look on the dog's face is proof of how important it is that we all look out for one another, humans and animals alike.